Good evening. Welcome to third video lesson on second chapter, electric potential and capacitance. Let me recapitulate the things which we have studied yesterday. We have begun electric potential difference, expressions for them, and then at the end of the last class, we were discussing about equipotential surfaces. So it is a surface on which potential is same at every point, and we have drawn the pattern for equipotential surfaces. We have taken only one case, whether it is isolated positive charge or isolated negative charge. We shown that the equipotential surfaces for them are concentric circles. So that's what I am mentioning here today's class. So point number 1, equipotential surfaces for isolated point charge are concentric circles. So if you see them in a two-dimensional view, they will be circles, and if you see them three-dimensionally, they will be spheres. So concentric circles, right? Now, and these circles concentric only, but the distance between two successive equipotential surfaces does not remain same. As you move away from the point charge, the distance between successive or consecutive equipotential surfaces gradually increases, indicating that potential is decreasing as you move away from the point charge, right? Now, we will take up the second case today. Yesterday is isolated point charge. This is now a uniform electric field. Uniform electric field. For this we are going to draw the pattern of equipotential surfaces. We are going to draw the pattern of equipotential surfaces for a uniform electric field. Okay, right. So how do we represent uniform electric field? Uniform electric field is represented by straight parallel lines. The separation between any two lines should be same, and all of them should be pointing in the same direction. So this is uniform electric field E. Whereas for a point charge, electric field is radial symmetry. Either it is radially diverging or radially converging. So if you want to draw equipotential surfaces for them, they will become, suppose here is one point, here is other point, here is another point, here is another point, here is another point. All these points will have the same potential. I repeat, all these points will have the same potential. If I take another point here, 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 again all the points will have the same potential. The set of all these points will have the same potential, but potential in this plane and potential in this plane will not be same. So if I draw equipotential surface for this pattern, for this set of points, it will be like this. So this is one plane, and here this is the other plane. So this is 1 and this is 2. So what are 1 and 2? 1, 2 are equipotential surfaces. Equipotential surfaces. Okay. So if you want to draw the third one also you can draw. So all the points falling on this third one also will have the same potential. So 1, 2, here 3 also I will add. All of them are equipotential surfaces. Now so the surface will be like this. First surface, second surface, third surface. Whereas electric field lines are like this. So now you can see very clearly that the angle between equipotential surfaces and electric field lines is 90 degree. So that's what we said yesterday, that equipotential surfaces always exist perpendicular to the electric field, right? Okay. Now we will see the third pattern. Third one, for a dipole. What is a dipole? Dipole consisting of equal and opposite charges. So here you have plus charge and at some distance you have minus charge. If you see it as a isolated positive charge, then the electric potential equipotential surfaces will be like this. So concentric circles. For this also like this and like this. But we are considering these two as a system. So both of them should together provide the equipotential surfaces. Now you know that positive, if you take exactly the middle point, if it creates a plus 5 volt, this will create minus 5 volt. So potential at this point is going to be 0. So therefore, there cannot be any potential surface existing there. So now what you do? So here you draw another line. It is like this. You can see that they are squeezing here, and whereas they are departing from each other like this. So here I draw another one like this. So here also in middle I will draw like this. Now as you approach that middle point, what will happen? It's like this pattern. So here exactly in the middle, what will happen? Potential equals to 0. This complete plane will correspond to 0 potential, that will be again equipotential surface of 0 potential. Okay. Now you should observe the pattern that between the charges, equipotential surfaces will be squeezing and away from them they will be departing. Fine? Right. Now the fourth one for equal charges, similar charges, not a dipole. So here you have plus charge, you can take minus also. Here there is another plus charge. So if you take exactly the middle point, what will happen? If this creates a 5 volt here, this also will create a 5 volt here, because both of them are positive charges. So 5 plus 5 will be what? 10. So there is no chance of getting any 0 potential at this point. So therefore, how will be the pattern of field lines? It will be like this. So for this also I am drawing closely like this. Now exactly opposite to this will be squeezing outside but departing like this. Now like this. Sorry. So it should be like this. Like this. So if you go on drawing like this, what will happen? You will get the envelope of all this one, all of them will be like this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of them are equipotential surfaces. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means? They are all equipotential surfaces. So remember the pattern. So this is, I told you yesterday that this is one of the important topic for examination. Either they may be asking you about the properties of equipotential surfaces or draw the pattern of equipotential surfaces for number 1, an isolated point charge, concentric circle. Number 2, for a uniform electric field, parallel planes. Number 3, for electric dipole, like this. Number 4, for identical charges, maybe both of them plus or both of them are minus. So if I replace this plus and plus with minus and minus, there will be no change in the pattern. There will be no change in the pattern because everything will produce the potential only, which does not have any direction. Okay, right. Now let us summarize the properties of electric field lines. Number 1. So right, now let me tell you, here if it is 2 volt, here also 2 volt, here also 2 volt, here also 2 volt, here also 2 volt. If here is 1.5 volt, here also 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Okay, right. Now I want to move a charge from here to here. So along this path, everywhere the potential is same. So potential difference is 0. So yesterday we have seen VA minus VB equals to W by Q. Therefore W equals to Q into VA minus VB. For example, this point I call it as B and this point I call it as A. I moved a charge from A to B on the equipotential surface. Both of them will have the same potential. So Q into 2 volt minus 2 volt equals to 0. This is what we have. So at least these two properties you remember. Number 1, electric potential surfaces exist perpendicular to electric field lines. Number 2, work done to move a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface is 0. At least these two. Okay, I repeat. Number 1, electric potential surfaces exist perpendicular to electric field, or the angle between electric potential surfaces and electric field lines is 90 degree. Point number 2, work done to move a charge from one point to another point on an equipotential surface is 0. Right? So with this now we are closing these equipotential surfaces. So one is the definition, other is patterns, and another last one is the properties. So all of them are very important for examination purpose. And also they give very good idea how potential surfaces will exist with respect to electric field. Right. Now we are going to see the relation between electric field and electric potential. One is scalar quantity, other is what, vector quantity. So relation between electric field means electric field strength, electric field intensity, electric field and electric potential. Right. Now let us consider this is the direction of a uniform electric field. So no need to draw all the electric field lines. Only symbolically you represent this as E, means electric field is existing everywhere here. Now I take equipotential surfaces. So this is one surface and here is the another surface. So what are these planes? These planes represent equipotential surfaces. Let me call it as A and this is what B. So these two, it's like this, it's like this. The separation between them is going to be dx. So where delta x tends to 0, the distance will be called as what, dx. That means B is existing very close to surface A, but for our understanding we have shown the distance little bit more. Okay, right. Now if this has a potential V, then this will be having a potential V minus dV, because the potential in this direction will be decreasing. This is the reason why I write directly V minus dV, is that suppose I have a charge here. If I leave it, in which direction it will move? If it is a positive charge, it will move in the direction of electric field, because electric field pattern of this one I showed you in the first chapter. That is, this is a positive plate and this is the negative plate. So electric field will be uniform between them. If I place a Q here, what will happen? Repelled by plus, attracted by minus. So it will experience a force F equals to QE in this direction. In other words, I will say, in terms of potential differences, a charge can move only from high potential to low potential. Like heat flows from high temperature to low temperature, air blows from high pressure to low pressure, charge also will move from high potential to low potential. So if a charge is moving in this direction, means this must be at higher potential than this. So therefore, if this is 5 volt, this cannot be 5 volt, it should be less than 5 volt. It can be 4 volt, it can be 4.9 volt or anything, but cannot be 5. That's why I am writing this V minus dV, so that the potential difference between these two will be dV only. Now what I do, I take a charge Q and I will like to move it towards this. Then I should do some work because I am trying to move it against the electric field. If I keep it here, it will move on its own. Or if I keep it here, it will move on its own. But I want to move it to in the opposite direction. So as an agent from outside, I should do work against the electric field. So my derivation begins with work done to move Q from B to A. What is B? Equipotential surface. A is also equipotential surface. From B to A against electric field is W equals to F dot dx. You can see that displacement is in this direction, but force will be acting in the opposite direction. So this will be work done by electric field will be F minus F into dx. So this is because force will be in this direction and displacement is in this direction, right? So this is F is nothing but minus Q into E into dx. This is what W. Equation 1. Now if you write this in terms of potential differences, this actually, you are moving from B to A. So therefore, final minus initial, VA minus VB is nothing but what? W by Q. So VA minus VB equals to W by Q, work done per unit charge. But VA minus VB is V potential here. So let me write as capital V, because the small v will confuse you with velocity. So this is a dV and this also will be what? dV. So potential at A is V minus potential at B is V minus dV equals to W by Q. So this V and V will cancel, minus of minus will be plus W by Q. So therefore W equals to Q into dV, equation 2. Now you see equation 1 and 2, from 1 comma 2, from 1 comma 2, you can write it as minus QE into dx equals to Q into dV. So this Q and Q will be cancelled, you will get E equals to minus dV by dx. This is the relation. So electric field is a vector quantity, potential difference is a scalar quantity. Relation is the negative potential gradient. The negative potential gradient is equals to electric field strength. I repeat, the negative potential gradient. Gradient means which changes with the distance. If it changes with the time, we generally call it as rate of change. If it changes with the distance coordinate, right, then we say it is gradient. So which is changing with the distance? Potential is changing. Obviously, potential decreases in the direction of electric field. So therefore, the negative potential gradient is equal to electric field strength. This is the first point what we conclude from this expression, right? Second one is negative sign implies that potential decreases in the direction of electric field. I repeat, negative sign implies that electric potential decreases in the direction of electric field. What does it mean? This is the direction of electric field. So in this direction only potential will what? Decrease. So if this is the beginning of electric field and this is the ending of electric field, suppose if this is a 10 volt here, 10 volt, 9 volt, 8 volt, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So potential will be falling like this in this direction. This is the reason why if you place a positive charge Q here, automatically it will move in this direction. Okay? Because potential difference exists in this direction. And this statement you also can make another way, that electric field is directed in the direction in which potential falls steepest. मतलब in which direction the potential is falling very rapidly, in that direction electric field will be pointing. Right? Okay. So negative gradient of electric potential is equals to electric field strength. First point. Second point is negative sign implies that electric potential decreases in the direction of electric field. These 2 points you make as the notes in your running classwork. Right? Okay. So this is also important for 2 mark. Derive relation between electric field and electric potential. This is a case of uniform electric field. If it is not a uniform electric field, right, and if it is actually a non-uniform electric field like a point charge. So how do you derive this? Means you can derive like this. For non-uniform electric field, for a point charge rather, for a point charge, you have V equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon into Q by R. So this potential is not keeping constant, it is changing with the distance. So do this as dV by dr is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q is also a constant. So this is d by dr of 1 by r. So if you differentiate this, you are going to the same relation, that is E equals to minus dV by dr. So instead of going for differentiation, we have taken in the textbook also they have taken, this is for uniform electric field and work done against the electric field calculated and potential difference, both of them are equated, you will get this relation. So whether it is a point charge which produces a radial electric field or it is a combination of plate which produces a uniform electric field, the relation between the potential and electric field always will remain same, that the negative potential gradient is equals to electric field strength, and negative sign implies that electric potential decreases in the direction of electric field. Clear? Fine. Now we will move to another topic. Okay, on this you will expect some questions. Example I will give you. This is a uniform electric field and I will take 3 points, point A, point B and point C. Comment about the electric potentials at A, B and C. Repeat the question. Comment about electric potentials at points A, B and C. Or I also can ask you like this. At which point electric potential is highest and at which point electric potential is lowest, and for which pair of points electric potential is equal. Fine. So A and B are falling on the same plane. So potential at A equals to potential at B. Is this clear? Right. Now the derivation says that E equals to minus dV by dr or minus dV by dx. Okay. That means potential decreases in the direction of electric field. This is the direction of the electric field because arrows are pointing towards right. So potential should decrease in this direction. So potential at A and B should be higher. Potential at point C will be less. So potential at C will be less than VA. Also potential at C will be less than VB. Because potential at A and B both are what? Equal. So this type of questions can be asked in MCQs, multiple choice questions, right? Okay. Another point I would like to bring to your notice that electric field units we have written. Electric field ka unit, SI unit is Newton per Coulomb. And I said there, it can be written as volt per meter also. Another unit is volt per meter. So how did we get volt per meter means? From today's derivation only. E equals to minus dV by dx. Negative sign implies only potential decreases in the direction of field. So if you take only the magnitude of this one, potential is measured in what? Volt, this one, and dx is measured in what? Meter. So that's why the unit comes out to be volt per meter. So volt per meter is electric field, and volt into meter, what is this volt into meter? Volt into meter is flux. Which flux? Electric flux. Okay, clear? Right. So electric field will have 2 units, means you can use 2 units alternately. One is Newton per coulomb, other is volt per meter. Fine. So these are the questions related to equipotential surfaces. Right. Another type of question that what you can expect in the equipotential surfaces is, here there is a point charge, say 5 coulomb, and this is the circumference. It is located say 10 centimeter. I want to move a 1 coulomb charge, say 1 microcoulomb charge from A to B or to C and back, this is D, and back to A. So work done from A to B equals how much? Work done from A to C is how much? Work done from A to D is how much? Work done from A to A equals to how much? What is the answer? What do you expect? This is, if this is a circle, this is a circumference, all these points will have the same potential, because expression for potential is V equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q by R. Q is the source charge 5 coulomb, R is the distance 10 centimeter. So all these points will have the same potential. So potential difference between these 2 points is 0. Work done is nothing but what? Work done is nothing but VA minus VB divided by, or VB minus VA. Final minus initial. Oh, sorry. W equals to Q into VB minus VA. So VB and VA have the same potential. VB minus VA equals 0. Work done equals to 0. So not only this case, for all cases VC minus VA is also 0. VD minus VA is also 0. And VA minus VA is obviously a 0. So in every case the answer is 0, 0, 0, 0. Because the property says that work done to move a charge on an equipotential surface is 0. So this is another type of question on the equipotential surface. Okay, right. Now, another concept in this chapter is electric potential energy. Electric potential energy of system of charges. System of charges. Right. Now, I have a source charge Q1. Here there is a point P which is located at distance what? R. I would like to bring another charge Q1 from infinity. So Q2 will be point P. Q2 will be brought over here. Now Q2 is not small as compared to Q1. Both are comparably, relatively equal charges. Magnitude of Q2 cannot be neglected. In deriving potential, what we did? We have a very big source charge and we brought a very minute charge from infinity to this point and we calculated potential as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by R. So work done to bring a relatively equal charge Q2 from infinity to this is, okay, so W equals to Q into V, because we define potential V equals to W by Q. Therefore W equals to Q into V. So which charge you are bringing? You are bringing charge Q2. Where from you are bringing? From infinity. To which point you are bringing? To a point P. Now does it create any potential at point P? Obviously yes. So this creates a potential 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 divided by R. So if you write this as W equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 Q2 by R. So this work done will be stored in the form of electric potential energy in the system of two charges. I repeat, this work done to bring a Q2 to a point near Q1 will be stored in the form of energy that is called as electric potential energy. So how do you define electric potential energy? Means it is the work done to bring a charge Q2 or to a point near another charge Q1. I repeat, electric potential energy of system of charges is defined as the work done to bring a charge Q2 to a point near the charge Q1. Okay? So this will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R. So this is energy only. So it is measured in what? Joules. SI unit will be joule. And sometimes there will be another charge here. So Q3. Then we write this as R12 and this is R23. R12 is the distance between 1 and 2, Q2, and distance between Q2 and Q3 is R23, and distance between 1 and 3 is R13. Like this. To calculate potential energy of the system, you require pair of the charges. So for 3 charges, how many pairs you can make? Q1 Q2 is one pair, Q2 Q3 is one pair, and Q3 Q1 is another pair. So for 3 charges, the work done will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 Q2 by R12 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q2 Q3 by R23 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q3 Q1 by R31 or R13. No problem. So this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 can be taken common. This is Q1 Q2 by R12 plus Q2 Q3 by R23 plus Q3 Q1 by R31. So this is for 3 charges. This is stored in the form of electric potential energy. Remember, potential energy is also a scalar quantity. Suppose if one of the charge is negative, suppose my Q3 is negative, minus Q3. Then how this expression will change? Q1 Q2 as it is. Q2 Q3. Q3 is being negative. Q2 into minus Q3 will be here minus. Clear? And then Q3 Q1 is minus Q3 Q1. These changes will occur. So, but generally we deal with the potential energy of only 2 charge system, not the 3 charge system. In case for 3 charges, how it will be means it will be like this. So like this you can extend your argument to any number of charges. Okay. So here as an example, suppose you have